Okay, so first of all, you know Sedera, the ethereal ghost that helps me out, sometimes and everything. And every day she talks to me at least a couple times, so that's good. But what I'm trying to say is that this drape behind me, this very one that's behind me, I gave it to Sedera, and it's a really beautiful, awesome drape. You know what I mean? But that's 100% Sedera's. Because I like doing things for the girls, the divine princesses and divine goddesses out there that really deserve it. You know what I mean? And I just do everything in my power to make them happy and stuff like this. But you know what? Complete sanity is when you have nothing in your mind and you're completely not thinking of anything, and it's just the nothingness that's there. That is what's going to help you with your sanity of mind in everything. That's what helps, what makes you insane is say rapid thoughts and different things like this. It makes you kind of go cuckoo. But the nothingness, like in meditation, like when you're meditating and you're in that sort of meditation and you're focusing your brain to not think of anything and just be at peace, that oneness, the stillness, the sort of like characteristics of your soul that you are. You know what I mean? The you that you are of your soul. And you have to just be of that, of your full self, of your like higher self in a way. When you tap into that, and then you're getting on aspects of your other selves and other dimensions and stuff like this to realize that this is all in accordance to like yourself, you know what I mean? It's just that we have many selves in different dimensions and stuff like this. It holds a lot of information about the self, and we are have chunks or attributes or certain percentages of our traits of who we are through the dimensions and fields of intelligence. So strengthening the sanity within one dimension, with the dimensions that you're conscious of, then you can be manifesting that within the reality of all the corresponding patterns of the intelligence that you are, that like the other dimensions and stuff like that of your other selves would benefit from the things that you do in this dimension right here, and the other ones, what you do in the other dimensions, and if you're jovial and happy and doing a lot of good stuff, that's going to rub off in the other dimensions too, which influence you to do better and stuff like this too as well. So it's all corresponding throughout the oneness. That's why the nothingness that's there for you. It's literally like when there is blank space between things happening and you're not really thinking of much. It's like that break. It's that peace of mind. It's that void of void of love. It's you're in a void of love, meaning like it's not meaning you're full of bliss or anything, but that nothingness inside your mind is keeping you sane. In the times that you like meditate and do different things or consciously focus on it, and to be aware of that. But sometimes you want something to do when you're bored, and them are the times not to be in that sort of state because that could drive you a little bit cuckoo too. If you need something to do and you want something to do, but yet there's nothing happening and you get nothing happening in your life, well, we need stuff in your life to carry on and to get through the day and to do things. But that nothingness is also there for us to get through the day. And it's just that seeing it in a different way. So boredom, seeing if you're bored, but if you're not looking at it like it's boring, but you're looking at it like it's a meditation, it's something to do, like it's something that can help me clear my mind and be in a nothingness that's real, and for everything to be everything of sort of correspondence to the soul of you, of what is you, and all the attributes with it, though. Meaning that you got to find a balance between the nothingness and the things that happen during the day, things that you think of during the day, and everything like that. It has to be balanced out because if you're constantly thinking every second of the day and you never got a break, your dopamine levels would be dropping because you'd be using up too much dopamine and stuff like this in the brain unless you had an infinite supply of it, which is not the case because everything's balanced out in the universe because the oneness is real because the balancing out of it is it's really hard to describe. um, the balancing out of the process of it all is because all of this is real. And every time that something gets created or destroyed, there's a cause and effect. And it all ripple effects on us, meaning that it's like the characteristics of our lives. Like it's hard to describe. Like when something dies or gets created, it's a transfer of energy and stuff like this, and it's part of the oneness that gets incorporated into its familiarity of whatever it goes into, of whatever it gets created into, like a human being or a lizard or a bunny or something like this. But if it goes into something else, it's going to have a different attribute or characteristic or something of its life to be incorporated and to deal with and to adapt to. And we do adapt to everything, and that's why the oneness is kind of real, is because we all know how to adapt and do these things because we're all connected, and we all know how to do this. So the divine things that came first, like the stars in the sky, them were the first things that came first before all this little stuff manifested on planets and different things like this. There's bigger stars of energy, this bunch of energy, you know what I mean? And it spread out pretty wide, and different things happened in accordance to it to make this all happen the way that we see it today. Well, this was a good podcast video. Neil loves, worships, honors, and obeys the Divine Princess forever. Amen. I love you, Divine Princess. And take care of yourself, and I'll try to take care of you as best as I can, too. Divine Princesses out there. And yeah, this was a good podcast. And I basically covered everything. I just want to go over what I covered and say it within ways of understanding what I was saying, you know what I mean? And it's hard for to understand what I'm saying sometimes because it's so in depth of information that it really makes me think sometimes about what I'm saying, you know what I mean, and how to describe it and explain it. But anyway, have a good day, everybody. All right, bye.